Hello, in this video I will show you how to use the data validation feature in Google Sheets. Let's pretend that I am a first year professor and I am trying to keep track of all of the students who are taking my courses and their grades. So I am creating a spreadsheet where I am entering the date, the current date when I put in the data, the student's first name and last name, gender, and the semester when I'm teaching the course, the year when I'm teaching the course, and the student's final grade. So this is a template for me to enter the data for the upcoming semesters and years. Now, of course, every time we type in data, there's a lot of probability for error, right? Even if we type the same word using lowercase or capital letters, then those values can be considered different and may induce some errors in data analysis. So it is a lot better to try to create a clean data file from the beginning than to try to clean up data after it has already been entered. So um, to help with that, we can use the data validation feature available in Google Sheets. For instance, let's say that I am typing in the date. Today is November 2nd, 2023. So all the dates should be today's date or after today's date. If I am entering a date that is prior to today's date, that is an error. So to prevent that error, I can go to data and then data validation, and I am going to select column A because this is where I want to use this data validation rule. So I'm going to click on add rule, and notice that because I selected column A, the range has already been defined here. It's from A1 to A9995. This is how many rows are in the data. But I don't want to start with row 1. I want to start with the second row because row 1 is the heading row, right? It has the name of each variable or the name of the column. So I want to start with the second row and then all the way down. And from the criteria menu, I am going to select from the drop down menu, um, date is on or after, right? Because I am starting today. And so all of the dates that I'm entering should be either today's date or after today. So the options that you have here are today, tomorrow, yesterday, or an exact date if you want to go back and specify a prior date. But let's go with today's date. So let's click done. And now we should have this rule here. Let's say that I am trying to enter the date for my first student. So I'm going to type November 1st, 2023. And remember, today's date is November 2nd. So I'm typing in November 1st. So I click enter and notice that I'm getting a notification here saying that input must be on or after. And if I click on it, I can see here that it should be on or after November 2nd, and I entered November 1st, the day marked in green. So I know now that I made an error and that I need to change it. So let's delete it. I'm going to delete the date and type second instead. So now everything looks clean. And then similarly, if I do the same for my second student, and let's say I am making an error on the month, and I'm typing October instead of November. Again, I am getting an error, so I am going to go back and fix the month and type in 11 instead of 10, and now it's correct. Okay, now let's say that I am typing in the first names of my two students, so I'm just gonna go with, let's say, John and Mary. Okay, and last name. Okay, and gender. So I am just going to keep this simple again with gender. If we type in, let's say, males with a capital letter or males with lowercase, that might be identified as a different text. So I just want to make sure that I'm being consistent and everything is entered in the same way for every individual. So I can enter another data validation rule here. I'm just going to select column D and add rule. I am going to change the range to begin with row number 2 because I don't want to include the variable name here. And this time I'm going to use a drop down menu, which is selected by default here. And my first value in the drop down menu, I want it to be males or male. You can also use color coding here, and I'm just going to go with a stereotypical blue for male, and then I can add another item, and my other option is female. Again, I am going to select a color for females, and I can add another option as well. It could be, say, other. I'm just going to keep it simple to save time, and then pick another color from here for other, and then done. Okay, so now I don't need to type in anything. So if I'm trying to enter the gender for these two individuals, I can go here and simply select one of the options that I define. Let's say I'm selecting other here, and maybe I'm selecting female here. Okay, I can do the same thing for semester. So I can select column E. I'm going to add another rule. Again, I'm going to start on E2 because I don't want to include the header row. I am going to go with the drop down menu here as well. And my first semester, it could be fall, which I am to color code as, say, brown. I'm going to add another semester, which could be spring. Here I'm going to go with green and add another option for summer. And I can go with yellow for summer and then done. Okay, so let's say that John took my course in the fall, and then Mary took my course in the spring. I can specify the year when they took the course. Let's say, I'm only starting to teach this semester, the fall semester of 2023. So this year shouldn't be before or prior to 2023. So I am going to add another rule. I am going to start with F2, and I'm going to go to F995. I believe this is how many rows are in my sheet 1 right now. And this time I'm not going to use the drop down menu. I am going to use greater or equal to, and because now it's 2023, I am going to enter 2023. and then click done. So let's say that for John, I'm entering correctly 2023, but for Mary, by mistake, I'm going to enter 2022. And you can see that this cell is marked in red, and it gives me a notification that input must be greater than or equal to 2023. So I have to go back and check. Of course, you got to check with your records and then make a change accordingly. Similarly, we can set a rule for the final grade, and let's say the final grade can range between 0 and 100, right? And if I enter another value, a value that is outside of this range, that is a data entry error. So I can set another rule for the final grade as well. So I'm going to add rule here. And again, I'm going to start on G2 and go all the way down to G995. I'm not going to use the drop down menu now. I am going to use a rule, and I am going to say is between as a criterion. So the final grade should be between 0 and 100. Let's say that maybe John earned 98 in the course, which is fine. And then for Mary, I am going to, by mistake, enter 101. And I am getting a message saying that the data entered in cell G3 violates the data validation rules set for this cell. So I'm going to click OK. It's not even going to let me enter that value. So okay, Mary earned 100, and this works. So this is how to apply data validation rules in Google Sheets.